According to some reports, Republicans want significant cuts across the board. But from where? Is funding our troops safe? We don't know. Republicans, show us the plan. Is funding for police and firefighters and first responders safe? Republicans, show us the plan. Is funding for Social Security and Medicare safe, which some in that party, particularly on the MAGA wing, said should be cut? We don't know. Show us the plan. The silence is unacceptable because the American people have a right to know whether they're going to see crucial services suddenly dry up. And if Republicans don't get their way, Americans have a right to know whether or not the hard-right GOPers are really prepared to lead the House Republican Conference to push the U.S. default, and whether the Republican House, led by McCarthy, will follow them over that devastating cliff, sending costs spiking on everything from credit cards to auto loans to mortgages. We've seen in real time how dangerous it is for Speaker McCarthy to have empowered the most extreme elements of the GOP to set the agenda in the House. The MAGA wing of the GOP, which has set the rules on how the House should run, has left no doubt that under their watch, no form of funding, however necessary, is safe.
Because Republicans campaigned on fiscal responsibility. You promised you won't spend more next year than you did last year. Are you willing to consider any reductions to Social Security and Medicare?
No, let's take those off the table.
Completely.
Yeah, I mean, if you read our commitment to America, all we talk about is strengthening Medicare and Social Security. So, and I know the president says he doesn't want to look at it, but we've got to make sure we strengthen those.
What do you mean by strengthen? Do you mean lift the retirement age, for example?
No. What I'm talking about, Social Security and Medicare, you can keep that to the side. What I want to look at is they've increased spending by 30%, $400 billion in 4 years. When you look at what they have done, adding $10 trillion of debt for the next 10 years in this short time period, if you just look a month ago, they went through and they never even passed a bill through appropriations in the Senate. While Mr. Schumer has been leader, he's never passed a budget. He's never passed an appropriation bill. He simply waits to the end of the year and allowed 2 senators who are no longer here to write a $1.7 trillion omnibus bill.
You want to work with Democrats to come to agreement on a budget?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I first think our very first responsibility, we both should have to pass a budget. We both should have to pass the appropriation bill so the country can see the direction we're going. But you cannot continue the spending that has brought this inflation, that has brought our economic problems. We've got to get our spending under control.
Okay.